Well, I got deserted by everybody, but we'll go ahead and get started. Uh,
Ian will be right back.
Ian will be back. As usual, if you want to help support this mess, donate to the Blanket Fort. And as always, King Harvey's Coffee. If you get some, tell them you got it here, found it here. You liked it from here. All right. Before we get into the rant / disagreement / whatever the hell else we're going to do, got a couple of books that dropped. Things That Go Bump in the Night.
Kelly
Grayson's new short dropped. And also Alma Boykin, Herbs and Empire, the 8th book in her Merchant and Empire series dropped. Both highly recommended. Now,
and if you're a fan of Alma, she'll be at LibertyCon.
Yes. And on a panel with us.
And a panel. Come say hi.
Yeah.
Not all at once. Let's
No,
not
no,
terrify the author.
no. Not all at once. Otherwise, we'll be having to scrape her off the ceiling with a spatula.
All right. And now I'll turn it over to Ian for his rant.
Okay. Hot sauce. Big rant. Long rant. I probably need more than an hour. Okay. Hot sauce. Hot sauce is supposed to be a flavor enhancer for your food with a spiky component. Your classic hot sauce has an acid and a salt. Salt is a flavor enhancer. It concentrates and I lost the word. It amplifies flavor. Acids will offset bitterness and bring brightness to the food. It enhances the flavor. Salt, acid, and then you have pepper for kick. And believe it or not, pepper's a berry, or not. Chilies are berries, so they do have flavors. The issue comes when there's way too much capsaicin and it overloads various receptors, and you can't actually taste the flavor of the berry. This is where people have been asking on Facebook, what's a stupid level of hot? A stupid level of hot is when you cannot taste the flavor of the chili. A stupid level of hot is also where your mouth is so on fire that you can't taste the rest of the meal. That's a stupid level of chili. We have one. Somebody sent us a habanero, Scotch bonnet, and boot jalokia hot sauce. I'm not eating this.
Okay, nobody sent that. That was a freebie from Sticker Mule, so it came with a sticker order.
Okay, so we got it free. Good.
Still not going to try it.
No.
Too much heat. Okay. Everybody knows what bell pepper tastes like, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Bell pepper is a chili. It is a chili. It has a flavor. As you start adding capsaicin to it, you get the spike, but you also get flavors. Once you hit about habanero, for most people jalapeno. Once you get to habanero, the SHU level overwhelms the actual taste of the berries. And it's just that's when people ask what a stupid level of heat is, that's it. Yes, an habanero has 150,000 to 500 something thousand SHU. We're not in a hot sauce. We're not actually eating an entire habanero. Hot sauces start with a mash. With the classic Louisiana hot sauce, Tabasco,
Yay.
Your mash is Tabasco peppers and salt, which is then fermented. That's what makes Louisiana hot sauce. One, it's simple. Two, it's complex. It's simple. There's only 2, maybe 3 ingredients. You have vinegar and you have pepper mash. That's it. Now, because complicated, pepper mash is fermented in certain barrels and for varying lengths of time. That's why it's one of the reasons Tabasco tastes different than Crystal. It tastes different from Louisiana. Also, Tabasco uses Tabasco peppers. Crystal and Louisiana use cayenne. Tabasco is a cultivar of cayenne, but it has a different flavor. Okay, that's why your Tabasco hot sauce tastes different than your Crystal or your Louisiana or your other classic hot sauce, the Louisiana hot sauces. Now, that's your Louisiana. Simple, but a little complex at the same time. And bear in mind, these classifications are me. They're not scientific. They're not culinary. They're what I've discovered. Okay. As you go, yes. We have tam jalapeno. This is another. People say, well, chilies don't have flavors. Yes, they do. Cedarr has tam, the Texas A&M cultivar jalapenos coming in. These are bred to have very little capsaicin, so you can actually taste the flavor of the chili, which is one of the reasons I love them. Okay, so you start out with Louisiana. Simple but complex. You've got two ingredients. You got vinegar, pow. You've got white vinegar. Oh my God. You have vinegar.
Acetic acid.
Yes, you have. That's the acid. And then the salt and the mash is your salt to enhance the flavors of your food. As you go west to Texas, New Mexico, New Mexico got a little, they looked at that and they got a little, that's simple. And it is, but there's nothing wrong with simple. Your classic Louisiana style hot sauces go on foods with a high amount of fat. Your fried or scrambled eggs, especially if you get them from Waffle House, where they're swimming in the vegetable oil, the vinegar and the salt in the classic Louisiana Tabasco cuts through the fat.
Yep.
Jim will drown his fried egg in Tabasco sauce.
Yep. I do not put it on ice cream, however.
No, that's stupid.
Yes, Chipotle goes into the mash.
Chipotle and what mash?
Tabasco.
No.
For the Tabasco, Chipotle.
For your standard bog standard Tabasco, there's no Chipotle.
But he's talking about for the Chipotle
Yeah,
Tabasco.
they do have a Chipotle Tabasco,
Yeah.
but that's not what we're talking about. Your classic Louisiana hot sauce, which is 2, maybe 3 ingredients. As you went to Texas, New Mexico, they said that was a little basic. And Texas, New Mexico hot sauces have what I call standard spices. Bravado Spice Company used to have the classic Texas hot sauce. It was called Crimson Hot Sauce. Of course, they don't make it anymore. It's classic Texas hot sauce. It was, instead of cayennes or Tabascos, it was arbol chilies and red jalapenos with onion and garlic. And then you had your white vinegar. Again, you've got mash with your arbol chilies and your red jalapeno chilies and salt. That's your flavor enhancer, your salt and your acid. Your acid was the vinegar. And of course, they don't make it anymore. Then you go south to Mexico. Your classic, one of my current favorite, your classic Mexican hot sauce is this Melendez Mexicana. Mexicans start putting other stuff in there. Out where the Texas, New Mexico puts common spices, the Mexicans start putting stuff like fruit, carrots, other stuff in there. This is the Mexicana. It's a fantastic little starter Mexican. Cayenne pepper, white vinegar, paprika, habanero peppers, garlic powder, cumin powder, ground black pepper, and a touch of pineapple. So that's your Mexican. You start adding other stuff. As you come off the Yucatan into the Caribbean, the Caribbeans get all sorts of happy with their hot sauces. Your classic is your pica peppa. Where Mexican starts putting citrus fruits and other fruits in there and other veggies, the Caribbean folks go really happy for fruits and veggies in their hot sauces. Pica peppa, which is your classic Caribbean sauce, it starts with habanero mash, habaneros and salt, and starts adding, let's see what we have here. I've missed.
Well, part of the reason that the Caribbean does that is because it's heavily influenced, of course, by the African culture.
Which is where we're fixing to go.
Mm-hmm.
So you start with cane vinegar, your acid, onion, sugar, tomato paste, sea salt for your salt, the peppers, raisins, ginger, mango concentrate, cloves, thyme, garlic, black pepper, orange peel. Your Caribbean hot sauces are very complex.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the habanero adds the berry flavor. And okay, it's 500,000 SHUs. We're not eating the berry. Some of it goes in mash, which is a small percentage of the entire thing of pepper sauce. Then you get to my personal favorite and what I grew up on, your African hot sauces. African hot sauces, it starts with your pepper mash starts out with your bird's eye, your peri peri peppers, your bird's eye peppers. Um, and then it uses a heavy citrus for the citric acid, heavy citrus base. There's still vinegar in it, but it's probably half and half citric acid and vinegar, lime juice. Vinegar, onion puree, lemon puree, sunflower seed oil, garlic, salt, spices, chili, paprika, parsley, bird's eye chili, so on and so forth. Rosemary. There's rosemary here. Again, it gets really complex. So you start out with Louisiana, you're simple, and then as you go down through Texas and Mexico into Mexico, it starts getting a little more complex. Caribbean, voila, to Africa, really complex.
Okay. One, I want to back up here. Somebody asked a question about multiplying a recipe that has various peppers in it. That, Carlton, is a damn good question.
That gets complicated.
Yeah, yes. I will just say, don't ever double the spices just because you double a recipe.
If you're adding a good rule of thumb, similar to the garlic rule of thumb,
Yeah.
Jim does this all the time, is if you're, she's
So is
frowning.
it like peppers is sort of like the earthquake scale? I mean, each jump is exponential.
Yes.
Yes, pretty
it's
much.
not just addition; it's exponential.
Scientifically, it's geometric. According to your tongue, it's
Yeah,
exponential.
Exponential.
Yeah.
A good rule of thumb, Jim uses this all the time. You see it in his jambalaya, is one pepper for everybody you expect plus one for the pot.
Yeah.
And then I always say, if anything, less heat, because your guest can always add heat. All of this stuff will be on the table.
Yeah.
So
We
if,
have quite a selection at the house.
oh yeah, I forgot one. From Africa, we go to Italy. This is my Rita's current favorite. This is Forelli. You want to talk about complex? The Italians jumped on hot sauce with all 4 feet.
Yeah.
This Rita loves this. This is her current favorite. Where this is my travel pack, by the way. Your Forelli. Are you ready for this? Roasted red peppers, not just a pepper mash. They roast them first. Balsamic vinegar,
Of course.
apple vinegar, Calabrian hot peppers. Wow. Lemon juice, sugar, salt, spices, and porcini mushrooms. This one's very complex, which is one of the reasons Rita likes. Most of the ladies that try this prefer if you have a lady that can stand heat, is on the fence about hot sauces, start with Forelli. Ladies always seem to like it. And then simple to complex. And then standard, which you should find, should be available in every cafe, is Cholula chili lime. There should be 3 bottles of hot sauce on every table. There should be a bottle of Tabasco. There should be a bottle of Cholula lime. And there should be a bottle of Valentina. Those should be on every restaurant table. Because some folks like the Tabasco, and that's perfectly okay. Simple, bright, good flavor. Other people like the citrus, the half citrus in the Cholula. Good. And then you got your classic Mexican Valentina. This the red cap, very mild, very flavorful, has tomato in it.
And that's really the only one that really has a lot of tomato in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also depends on what part of the country you're from. Raptor makes a good point. She thinks black pepper's too spicy.
And some people do.
Yeah,
That's perfectly okay.
The northeastern tier tends to not spice food at all.
And the northern Midwest, Tom
Yeah.
Rognaby's on here somewhere.
Yeah.
Folks that think ranch is spicy.
Yeah.
I love y'all, but we got to work on your culinary skills.
Yeah, but the other side of that coin is Buffalo hot wings.
Yeah.
How the hell that came out of Buffalo, New York?
It's not a great hot sauce.
No, it's not.
And again, Well, and there's another rant. The difference between hot sauce and a wing sauce.
Yeah.
Wing sauce is basically spiky barbecue sauce. It's wing sauce it's hot, yes, but it's not. This is crappy wing sauce.
Yeah.
This is okay, but wing sauce. This is not wing sauce.
No.
And the Frank's Red Hot is a very, very, very popular hot sauce.
Yeah.
And for the life of me, I don't know why.
I don't either. I've never cared for Frank's.
It's very mild, and that's again, this is probably even milder than Frank's. But hey, hello vinegar, pow.
Yeah. The other thing is when you're talking about heat scale, Scoville scale, for example, Scoville, you can have a hot bell pepper.
Oh yeah.
Ask me how I know, because I screwed up as a youngster when I was told to go out in the garden and plant bell peppers. And I planted them the next row over from the jalapenos. Downwind. My grandmother, bless her heart, never let me forget that I had caused her much pain and hate and discontent because she had hot bell peppers coming out of the garden. And she did not like hot bell peppers.
Chilies will hybrid at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
You can sneeze 3 blocks away, and your chili peppers will hybridize. That's one of the reasons there's so many of them. They came from one plant in South America, and the Thai, Indian, Chinese food that's stuffed full of chilies, they didn't have that until chili peppers arrived.
Yeah.
They should talk to South Americans about appropriating their culture.
Now, the other thing I want to talk about is, the opposite occurs if you plant tomatoes too close to chilies. Yeah. Weird tomatoes and bland chilies is right.
Are you talking about the Forellis?
No, you get cross-pollination between tomatoes and chili.
No, somebody asked what the name of that one again.
Oh, Forellis, yeah.
Is it Forellis?
Yeah. But what you're actually, quote unquote, tasting on the Scoville scale is your pain receptors on your tongue. They are what light off on the capsaicin. Capsaicin bonds to your pain receptors.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what causes you to say it's hot, because it's actually painful. Just like menthol, if you chew peppermint, spearmints,
It binds to the cool receptors on your tongue.
it binds to the cold receptors. One of the things that you can do if a dish is too hot is to add sour cream, because that bonds to the capsaicin and the vinegar or the acids, and it tones it down a little bit.
Not a lot.
Not a lot is right. The other thing that you run into is if you eat extremely hot foods, by the end of the meal, you're not tasting the heat.
It doesn't even necessarily have to get to the end of the meal.
No, well,
Once
that's true.
Once you get a mouthful of boot jalokia or scorpions,
Yeah,
your tongue is overloaded.
Yeah.
That's why we start with the mild stuff, because like I said, chili's have bell pepper's a chili. Bell pepper's a chili pepper. It has a flavor. They all have flavors. But if there's so much capsaicin that's overloading your tongue, you won't taste it. Why do you bother?
Yeah.
Here's your Trinidad scorpion and a block of tofu. Go in the corner and eat your meals.
Yeah. DIY makes a good point. If you press cement hard enough on the tip of your tongue, it does.
Yeah.
You think it's burning because it's hitting those receptors.
Yeah.
The other thing is you lose the taste in your tongue at some point during the meal, especially with extremely hot.
Right away with extremely hot stuff.
Yeah. And sadly, as you age, you lose pain receptors in your tongue. That's one of the things that comes with aging. That's why you see a lot of older folks that will use more pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Bob was a case all his own, Don.
Yeah, no kidding.
But you actually lose those pain receptors in your tongue and your taste receptors. So you lose a lot of your capability to actually taste food.
That also on top of that, my father was a really good example. If you are a heavy smoker, that plus age, Dad started with Tabasco, and he had this devil snot that he made out of these little purple peppers.
Yeah.
Because it was the only thing that cut through the tar on his tongue that he could actually taste. Now, the rest of the world thought it was too damn hot, but Dad was late 40s, never got to 50, and then left us. And a heavy smoker. And it's the only thing that as you age, you lose taste receptors. It's a simple fact.
Yeah.
And this is what gives you sensation of taste. And you had to cut through the tar on his tongue.
Now, the other thing that happens, testosterone poisoning is also an issue.
No kidding.
Uh,
Trinidad scorpions.
Yeah.
I'm the toughest. Same reason people get pit bulls. I'm the toughest man in the room. Look what I'm eating.
Yeah.
Why?
and it can actually kill you. That's what people don't realize, is the extremely high Scoville ratings can actually kill you. I have seen 2 people pass out in restaurants from eating hot peppers.
Well, and if you come to my house or Jim's house and you drown your food in scorpion hot sauce, it tells me that what I made was tasteless.
After that was called sriracha.
I'm not a big fan of Asian peppers.
Yeah.
Sriracha, I don't understand. I do not understand the infatuation with sriracha. I really don't. Now, the chili paste is good. Oh, chili paste is good. Sriracha, I don't understand the infatuation with it. I really don't.
No. I've used it for a couple of things, but always as a small element in like making tom yum.
Yeah.
I've used it to add the spice and sourness even,
Right.
because it is so very vinegary.
Well, it could have been a version of chili pepper rafter. That's the other thing. But sriracha came out of Vietnam as a mix to mitigate the taste of nuoc mam, which is fish sauce,
Fish sauce.
fresh out of the fish.
Garum,
Yeah.
Worcester.
Fish
Yeah.
sauce is not fresh. That's the point.
Yeah. Worcestershire sauce. Those are all paste. Kelly talks about his dad eating chili pequins. Yeah, that's something that the older folks did, or just Worcester sauce. Yeah, that too.
There are people. Rita, for instance, if she's eating fried chicken, she wants a pickled jalapeno.
Yeah.
And she'll bite the jalapeno in between the chicken because, let's face it, chicken's bland.
Speaking of which,
And what is this stuff? Flavor enhancer. The salt makes the chicken more chickeny, and the acid brings out brightness. What?
We've got chicken.
Oh, yes.
Duh. I got enough for everybody to have a piece.
So I'm actually going to start Cedarr on the Ferrelli, just see what her expression is.
There are knives and forks in the other in the bag. My grandfather
Now,
would eat. His favorite lunch was lima beans, jalapeno peppers, fresh jalapenos, cornbread, and buttermilk. And he would sit there and eat that and never even break a sweat.
So we're doing something squirrely. We're going to start with most complex, the Ferrelli, and see what everybody thinks. I also brought some celery to clean the palate afterwards. You can taste the mushroom there.
Yeah, it's mild.
Yeah.
It's a mild because again, I like the flavor, not the oh my god, I pay $75 extra to Vegas to be whipped.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not mild if you just pick up a little bit and touch it to your tongue.
Yeah.
It's also very, very sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I tried it on the chicken first, and then I was like, what does it taste by itself?
Yeah.
Because I can't pick apart the flavors. The mushroom is very strong in that one. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very earthy. The porcini is very earthy mushroom.
Yeah.
Again, this was a complex one to start out with. Probably not what we should have started with, but something to clear your palate.
Thank you.
Clear your palate.
Oh, great. We're on recording, and we're going to crunch on things.
Yes. Okay, so from complex, we'll go to slightly less complex. This is the Mexicana, my current favorite. This is your Mexican style. Should not have done that. This is the Mexican style with extra. You'll notice it's a lot less red than the Forelli is, because you've got other veggies in there and spices.
It's fairly mild.
Again,
Yeah.
go with mild. We like the flavor.
Definitely less sweet than the Forelli.
Mm-hmm.
Less fragrant than the Forelli, because I'm smelling them before I eat them, too. But this is,
We have the scientists over here who actually can correct both of us.
that one has a little bit more of the acid than the Forelli, for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, the Forelli uses a milder acid. It uses, instead of straight vinegar, it's using
This is
the
balsamic.
balsamic vinegar.
Well,
Less.
there's a bunch of different. I mean, vinegar runs a gamut of anywhere from your white vinegar, which frankly should only be used for cleaning things, through what I use primarily if I'm cooking is I'll actually use a rice wine vinegar because it's very mild as far as vinegars go. And I use balsamics and I've used malted vinegars. I had a grape must vinegar for a while that was fantastic.
And
I can't remember where I found it though.
Anna wants to know how we can taste anything over the bitterness of the celery. Kind of resets your taste buds.
Reset your taste buds.
Yeah.
Because if you eat, we do the same thing at chili cook-offs. If you eat a bite of chili and then eat the second bite of chili, you don't know if you're actually tasting the first one or the second one.
And this celery is not terribly bitter.
No.
Now we're going to go the African variety. This one should be interesting.
Peri peri.
Again, because we like taste, not $75 extra in Vegas, we go mild. It's a flavor enhancer.
The peri peri also has flecks of herbs floating around in it because I realized that the people on the video can't see that.
Definitely tastes the citrus.
Mm-hmm.
Your African will be citrus heavy, citrus forward.
Very mild still.
Again, if we're enhancing the flavor, we're not overriding it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our case, pickled ginger, but I don't have any handy.
Oh, if I'd realized that, then I would have brought. Ooh, wow, that is lemon all
Yeah.
way. That's me picking up a little bit of just the straight peri peri and trying that. That's really, really nice.
And that opened Cedar's eyes.
Well, so far they've been very nice, but that one just that citrus brightness just really.
The brightness of the acid.
With that one with that lemon herb, I wouldn't even call that a hot sauce.
It's not.
It's not. It's something that I would use if I were doing something that was supposed to be very citrus forward.
Yeah.
It'd be fantastic on like a fish or
Yeah.
something where you would want a lemon, a citrusy.
Nando's uses it on their chicken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I mean that's why we're doing this with chicken because
Yes.
chicken's pretty neutral.
Chicken is neutral, and you need to enhance the flavor.
Yeah.
Thus, flavor enhancers. Hot sauce. What?
Kelly says, I'd be wiping my ass with a snow cone after this tasting.
Okay, unless someone slips a ringer in there, none of this is going to be actually residual.
The only one that might be would be the
The sticker mule one,
Yeah.
which we're not going to try.
I'm not trying that stuff.
No.
Okay, so a classic simple Valentina. When people say Mexican hot sauce, this is what they're talking about. Again, this one's going to be a little less mild than the rest. It's definitely redder.
it's about the same red as the Italian.
So your Valentina, this is going to be a classic Mexican. There's some tomato in there.
Yeah, you can definitely taste the tomato.
It's more opaque than the other ones.
Thicker.
But again, there's heat. It'll make your tongue tingle a bit in the back. But you can taste the flavor of each one of these has a different pepper in it. And you can actually taste what the pepper tastes like.
Yeah.
And that one's a little bit spicier than the other ones.
Right.
have
A
been.
little hotter.
I'm still going to do the straight up taste, just cautiously.
Kelly says, eat enough of that and you can save your esophagus the trauma and just shovel it rest in the eroded hole in the front of your belly.
These aren't hot, guys.
Yeah,
Again,
no.
we're using them as flavor enhancers,
So 'cause
not a dare.
right, I am classic white girl mediums about as much as I can do. If I eat real Thai, I will have tears streaming down my face. I
Oh,
won't
yeah.
stop eating it, but I will have tears streaming down my face. And none of these are. I mean, the last one, the Valentinas,
Valentina.
Yeah.
is the spiciest of the lot, and even that's medium salsa level.
Because again, we're looking for the salt and the acid to enhance the flavor of our food with a little bit of chili arballs and chili piquins.
Yeah.
The chili mix in this is arballs and piquins, which gives it a different taste than a different hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's we're not going into the 99.
Off in the
1,000.
weeds.
Yeah, hot sauces.
No, and we never will.
No, because quite honestly, they're not enjoyable.
And it honestly, it ruins a hot sauce. If that's all you can taste, especially after your first mouthful, it's ruined the rest of the meal.
Yeah.
Here's your block of tofu and your hot sauce. Go in the corner. Okay. Now we're going to get a little squirrely. Pick a pepper. Complex.
And again, I technically, because I know and love Pick a Peppa, I don't consider it a hot sauce.
No, it's a mildly enjoyable A1 sauce to be God's honest with.
Yeah, it's very close to A1, I think, in its flavor profile.
Yeah, brown sauce is nothing more than A1 sauce with a different brand name on it. It's very, very thick.
Yeah.
And once
And Kelly's being a wise ass. Don't tell me hot, boy. I can eat crawfish and then take a piss without washing my hands first.
Pick a pepper.
I have seen that man eat crawfish. He is a machine.
pick a pepper. No, not to me. Other people might find it spicy. I don't. It qualifies. There are peppers in it.
Mhm.
Again, salt and acid to enhance the flavor of your chicken.
You're right.
There are cloves in there. You can taste the cloves.
There are definitely cloves in there.
Yeah, you're right, Ag. A1 and HP are not the same, but they're
No.
damn close.
Okay.
So Pick a Pepper is very, very sweet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Raisins.
the sweet citron, yeah, it's definitely got the raisins, and you can taste the spices.
But it's not
heavily
as sweet as
spiced.
Peri Peri.
No. It's sweet in a different way.
Yeah.
It's sweet in a different way. I think it hits more sweet because the Peri Peri has all that lemon
Yeah.
balance.
Now we're going to do a complex craft hot sauce. This is the garlic habanero. Sounds bad, but there's very little habanero mash in here. It's just enough to give it the flavor of the habaneros. It's also very thick.
Yeah.
This
Now
one-
needs more chicken.
I'm sorry. There you go, sir.
Thank you.
This one you can see again, like the peri peri, it's got pieces of herbs and bits of stuff chopped up and floating around in there. It's not so finely processed that it becomes that
This is
homogeneous sauce.
right. This is a craft sauce.
Mhm.
The whole craft hipster movement to hot sauces has been a boon and a curse all at the same time.
The hot sauce aisles at Jungle Jim's
Oh,
were
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, and most of the people that buy those, they sit on the shelf. Nobody ever touches them.
Hmm.
Now that one's a little warmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's definitely spiky.
A little warmer.
Mm.
The habanero, the fruitiness of the habanero is very, very apparent in there. And then the garlic gives it a nice kick.
Yeah, but it's mild.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's there. I wouldn't classify that really as a hot sauce per se.
Now, see, it's to me that is easily the spiciest one we've had. Maybe I just hit a chunk of habanero, but I'm feeling it all the way from tip of the tongue to
is.
the back of the tongue.
I'm not.
But then again, I also did
He's a
dip
chili
my
head.
finger into it and
Yeah.
taste it.
He's Jim
It
the
is
Cajun chili
very
head.
garlicky.
Yeah, there's a lot of garlic. Garlic provides
Mhm.
pungency, but you can taste on that one. You can taste the citrus notes of the habanero.
Hmm.
Okay, last two are going to be warm,
Hmm.
as warm as we get. We'll start with Cholula.
I knew that was coming.
We're going to end with Tabasco, which will be the warmest one that we serve. This is your chili lime Cholula.
Which I am not actually a fan of.
No, Jim really isn't.
We have.
Oops, I'm sorry.
That's all right. We have Cholula at home because this is my son's favorite, but I haven't tried the chili lime.
This one goes for citrus notes.
Yeah, definitely
If
citrus.
you smell it, you can definitely smell the citrus.
Yep.
Now it's got more spike to
Yeah.
me than the Melinda's, but it's a sharper, cleaner one note spike.
Yeah, it's Cholula.
That's Cholula.
Yeah, tasting it, the lime really comes through, and it does work really nicely with the chili. So, is that are the chilies in that roasted or smoked?
Probably roasted.
Well, it's Guajillo, Arbol, and Pekin chilies. The Guajillo is going to be smoked.
Yep. Yeah, that's coming through. Not heavily. I mean, it's not a heavy smoke flavor, but there's definitely something there that's a little bit. When you roast something, you change your flavor compounds. So the same chili that is just fresh was going to taste different than the chili that's been roasted. Is going to taste different than one that's been smoked and dried and then rehydrated.
Like the difference between jalapenos and chipotles.
Yes.
Same berry.
Yes.
One's been smoked and dried.
Yes, and they're hugely different. Like, I keep a bottle of Chipotle Tabasco on the table, and I like it. For one thing, the Chipotle Tabasco to me is verging on too vinegary, and the Chipotle Tabasco is mellower. It's got more sweetness to it.
And we're going to end up with pretty
Yay.
much the upper limit of
Finally.
heat profile that we'll use around our tables is Tabasco. Now, Tabasco is classic. This is the MRE size because it was a blessing to troops in MREs.
Yes.
MREs are nasty. And Tabasco, for what it is, Jim loves Tabasco because he grew up on it.
Yep.
I'm ambivalent towards Tabasco.
God, give me some Tabasco.
I'm ambivalent towards Tabasco. I
Thank you.
find it to be much like Cedarr. I find it to be too vinegar forward, and it's a one note pepper. However, the fermenting they do on the pepper is a lovely little side note.
Yep, that's good.
Just a little bit. Thank you.
And if y'all don't like it, that's just more for me.
Classic Tabasco.
back up because it was one I wanted to comment on here.
Very strong vinegar in there.
Yeah.
The fermentation in that really comes through. And for me, and Jim's going to make noises here in a second, it reminds me a little of kimchi because of the fermentation.
Fermented, yeah. It ferments the same way that
That's an interesting statement. I don't get that
the fermented lemons.
because to me, kimchi is just nasty.
I like sauerkraut. I like kimchi. I enjoy the fermented, the lactic acid, because that's what you're getting is
Yeah.
the lactic acid from the bacterial action.
I just can't get by the taste and the smell.
The fermentation is in the Tabasco's pepper mash is the same as you get in preserved lemons or kimchi.
Yeah.
Because it's an age-old technique.
Yeah.
That was created by multiple different cultures across multiple different places in the world.
Yeah. Now, one thing I will say about Tabasco, and it's kind of interesting, but any ship that you go on from any country, regardless of what country, I've seen it in Japan, I've seen it in Korea, I've seen it in the Philippines, I've seen it on British ships, there will always be a bottle of Tabasco. It will be the only non-country specific spice
condiment.
there.
The thing about Tabasco and other Louisiana style hot sauces, Crystal, Louisiana Tabasco, is the vinegar heavy part of it means that if you are serving any food that might be bitter, such as greens, collard greens can be bitter. If you sit down at a southern table and you get served a mess of greens, first thing everybody will do grab the hot vinegar.
Yep.
There'll be a jar of Trappist hot vinegar, which is just
pepper sauce.
Pepper sauce, which is just it's little yellow peppers suspended in white vinegar.
Don't eat the peppers.
Don't eat the peppers. Eating peppers is a bad idea. But the vinegar is splashed and you just go ahead and dose your greens because they're bitter. Even when they're cooked, you cook to get rid of some of the bitterness.
Yeah.
But you don't get rid of all of it. Well, the vinegar, the acidic acid in the vinegar, dulls the bitterness and brightens it. So if you don't like greens and you never tried it with vinegar or hot pepper sauce or Tabasco, try it. The vinegar will offset the bitterness you don't like.
Yeah. Now, somebody was mentioning cilantro lime sauce. I'm one of those people where cilantro tastes like soap to me.
There's a significant part of the population. Jim and I are both part of this population with a genetic predisposition to taste this saponamines in cilantro.
Yep.
Cilantro, Rita loves it. She describes what it tastes like, and I wish I could eat cilantro because her description is toe curling. I get a mouthful of it, and it's Dawn dishwashing soap.
Yeah.
Because I've got that genetic component means I can taste the saponamines whatever in the cilantro. It just
yeah. Tagine is something that we tend to use over fruit.
Oh yeah,
especially over melons.
hang on a second.
Another piece of chicken. I got a bunch of leftover sauce to take care of. I'll just mix it all together.
This stuff, it's chili powder and powdered limes. That's all it's in this. Chili pepper, sea salt, dehydrated lime juice, lime zest. One thing in here: salt, chili powder, and lime squeezes.
That's an interesting flavor.
Did you mix it all together?
Yeah.
Oh.
Kind of tasty.
We did do that one.
But chili, again, we've got Cedarr here, who's your basic white girl.
Yes. I grew up, so we didn't do spice at all at home. I literally have had my mom and my sister react to soup with too much black pepper in it as that's too spicy.
Oh, good God.
So I grew up in a household that just didn't. And my dad would occasionally do hot sauces, but it was like Tabasco, and I don't like the vinegar. So it took me a long time to be able to eat any spice.
Again, we go mild, folks.
Yeah.
And start mild. Everything we've had up here, the Forelli,
Which one is that one?
Valentina, the Valentina, your basic Nando's lemon and herb, it's all mild stuff. Start mild. Use it to enhance the flavor of your food, not to win a bet. It's not that eating should not be a dare.
Now, Thai, Carlton was talking about his wife growing up in a military family and having Thai officers over. Thais eat very hot food. You talk about white boy mild or white girl mild. That actually comes from Thai food
Oh yeah.
because the Thai do not lie when they put a pepper rating on their food. Now, the issue is when you're in Thailand and eating the food, stay away from anything that has more than one pepper on it.
Yes.
And do not under any circumstances eat the little red pepper.
Yeah, Thai peppers are phenomenally hot.
Yes, and that is the second time I've seen somebody pass out from eating one of those.
Michael Kalsbeck can't get the Nando's lemon herb up here. Amazon is your friend.
Yes.
That's where I got this is through Amazon. The only Nando's that you can't get through Amazon that I really wish you could is the mango lime.
Mm.
Mango lime is phenomenal. You can't get it in the U.S.
So I've posted in the Facebook group a picture of my little palette of hot sauces here with all of them identified.
But it's
And this doesn't even get into things like the Indian relishes and stuff.
Relishes, curries.
Right. Well, not even the curries, just the stuff in the jar.
Yeah.
Because I keep one of those in the pantry for when I'm really stuffed up.
Yeah.
Because I'll eat a spoonful and it will clean me out. It won't be
Oh, yeah.
pleasant for a while, but
there's
I
Well,
can
you-
breathe afterwards.
you get into relishes, chow chows.
Yeah.
What Texans call pecani sauce.
Yeah.
And by that, and this is a whole different rant. I'm very briefly going. The chunky stuff that like paste pecani sauce is a relish. It's a chow chow.
Mm-hmm.
That is a whole different world of loveliness.
Mm-hmm.
It really is, which we don't have time for today.
Yeah.
And I don't have enough chow chow on hand.
Yeah.
But every culture has basically
A version
a
of that.
paste pecani sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Southeast United States, chow chow. It's peppers and onions and garlic, all thick ground
Yeah.
in a chunky spoonful of loveliness that goes on whatever you're eating.
What most North Americans call salsa literally means sauce.
Sauce.
Yeah.
So what most Americans call salsa is a variation on the picante or now what I really like and love to make is pico de gallo.
Yeah.
Which is a whole other thing. And again, people call it salsa and it's not.
But most people put cilantro and pico de gallo.
Yes.
I can make you some without.
That's
But
like
you're talking about chow chow, and I've made chow chow and piccalilli, which is
Yeah.
getting into
Chow
the more
chow.
New England stuff, with green tomatoes because it's lovely that
oh yeah,
way.
tomatillos.
But I
Yeah.
no regular green tomatoes.
Yeah,
but now that
and
I'm down,
tomatillos.
but now that I'm down here, I've got some tomatilla plants.
Yeah,
planted
there's
this year.
there's
I'm
this
gonna have
lovely chow
fun.
chow. There's this lovely chow chow that some little old lady in Wichita makes. That's green tomatoes and tomatillos and onions, and I think she chops poblanos,
Mhm.
and then she puts it on your taco. But one of the Valentina, it's marketed in Mexico as salsa picante.
Yeah.
We hear picante sauce here, we think paste.
Yeah.
That big, thick, chunky.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Picante means hot.
Yeah.
It's
Spicy.
hot. Salsa picante is hot sauce.
Mhm. It's from the Latin root picar.
Yeah.
which it basically means to stab.
Well, Tom, your dad was also from Montana, Minnesota, somewhere up there. So yeah, it's very bland. Don,
There's nothing wrong with blind.
that's true between Bob and Gene. Yeah, that was a mixed marriage made in heaven.
And again, if you like your food bland, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you like 16 million Scoville heat units in your Trinidad Scorpion, that's fine too.
Yeah.
But start out with mild stuff like what we've had
Yeah.
here today. This up till, like I said, Tabasco is the hottest stuff we have.
Yeah.
It's
Other
not
than
that hot.
Shit, we're not trying.
Hell no. It's not that hot. Get the hot sauces that have flavor rather than
Yeah.
heat. A little heat's not bad, but get the flavor. You might be surprised.
Dan, I'm gonna guarantee you, I know what your dad went through. Not that I did it, but one of the guys on the crew did. Oh, I like hot sauce. I'm from Texas. No, you do not want to. Yeah, give me that three pepper hot stuff. Yeah, that didn't work well. Matter of fact, he missed the flight the next day.
Oh no!
And
I
He
was
was
gonna say
at the
I can
dispensary.
usually do 2 peppers, but that's the max of
Yeah.
what I can tolerate.
Silver Tiger says, Ian, some of us like to embrace the power of and flavor and heat. Yes, as long as you're getting the flavor. I'm talking to folks that all they do is heat.
Oh, I did not know that, Anna. Anna said, look in the kosher section. That's where they put pico de gallo without cilantro.
Really?
Hmm.
Anyway, so
And counters Kelly's pro tip. You try to get on your wall of flame at the wing restaurant, wash your hands thoroughly before using a restroom or rubbing your eye.
rubbing your eye. Woo! But the hot sauce rant is all about hot sauce is supposed to have flavor. And a lot of, especially 18-year-old soldiers, don't
Yeah.
realize it's a dare for them. And then they get out of the army, they never try hot sauce again. Or some male relative will spring it on their teenage relative,
Yeah.
female relative. Here's
My
Dave's insanity. Try this, and they never try hot sauce again.
Yeah.
my grandfather would hand me a piece of popcorn, and I learned not to take popcorn from him.
Yeah.
Because the other side would have a drop of hot sauce on it.
Yeah. Rick says pepper spray used to be for the bad guys, not self-inflicted.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the Scoville units, some of the peppers that they're breeding right now, the scorpions, the
insane.
ghosts, the other stuff that people are hybridizing up and selecting for, just literally weaponized levels of
The
heat.
latest one is Pepper X, and it's like 10 million Scoville heat
Yeah.
units. When 16 million is pure capsaicin.
Yeah.
This is like 10 million, I think, I forget, SHUs.
Yeah.
It might have a flavor. Nobody
Is going to taste it.
is ever going to know what the flavor of a Pepper X is.
Yeah.
It's just not physically possible.
I worked with a guy that was over at Naval Intelligence that grew his own hot peppers,
That did.
and to the point that you had to handle them with
Mhm.
gloves
Mhm.
because they would literally burn your skin.
Mhm.
And he would cook with them. And I went to a party one time where he had made the chili.
Oh no.
And he made like 5 gallons. And he said, I only put 1 pepper in,
What sort of pepper did he put in there?
Mm-hmm.
a scorpion.
Mm-hmm.
He and I were the only 2 people that had a bowl of chili. Most of the rest of the people took 1 bite or smelled it and walked away.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about once you get past habanero, they're all cultivars of the same 2 or 3 family trees.
Yeah.
The same 2 or 3 hybrids, the same 2 or 3 cultivars. Jalokias, Nagas, and the Trinidad Scorpion version of habanero. And I can't tell that. I probably will never know.
Yeah.
I tried some scorpion hot sauce, and the notes that I could the few notes I could detect of pepper of the actual berry was almost the same citrusy as the habanero.
Yeah.
So why should I inflict that on myself when I can use the habanero sauce, much less heat, same flavor?
Yeah, Tom brings a good point. Cutting jalapenos and serranos without gloves is wonderful for the arthritis.
No kidding. No kidding. I have there. Rita and I have a box of blue nitrile gloves in the kitchen for whenever we're handling any sort of chili.
Roars. There are actually some good people over at Navy Intel. Not many, but a few.
No, but
I forgot to bring them over, but I have the Mad Hatters for you, which are the mild.
Yeah.
I mean, they're little baby plants right
Yeah.
now, but if we can get them to fruit between the two of us growing them in different places, those should be interesting because those are supposed to be a mild habanero, correct?
no, it's a mild bishop's miter.
Okay.
And bishop's miter is a vicious little bastard with a wonderful flavor. And somebody who was bright hybridized the bishop's miter with something else and got Mad Hatter, which sounds really bad. But it's a 500. It's supposed to be a 500 SHU, lovely little spinning top pepper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's if you can get them the right size, they're great for stuffing.
Don't plant banana peppers next to hot peppers. Yeah.
Don't plant
Any peppers next to hot peppers.
Don't
So the genetics of that are really interesting because the pepper is the ovary of the flower.
Yeah.
So in theory, the flesh of the pepper should not be genetically altered through fertilization. What is
Should not.
No. What is genetically altered is the seed.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is if you clean them well enough that you don't have any seeds involved, the flesh of the pepper itself will not be altered because it's if you look at the genetics, it's not. I mean, it's literally the parent
But
plants.
if those
My
seeds
grandmother was in her 80s. She couldn't see the damn seeds.
Right, but that's the thing
Yeah.
is you can if
Yeah.
you're worried about your peppers cross-pollinating and you have a small garden, just be really darn careful to clean all the seeds out.
Quit shaking the table.
I'm leaning on it, sorry.
Yeah, Sir Brass, I'm with you.
Exactly.
I don't need a pure heat.
No, that's what this
Yeah.
entire 56-minute episode's been about. Is
58 minutes.
58.
But who's counting?
If you're a pepperhead and sweating and calling upon Jesus to take you away and kill the pain is your thing, go forth and sin no more. Have fun.
Yeah.
Um,
But don't ask me to join
No.
you.
buy mild hot sauces. Buy your mild hot sauces and try them. Try a variety. They
Yeah.
all have different flavors. Every chili pepper out there has a different flavor. Your jalapeno has a grassy note with licorice overtones. Your habanero is very sweet and citrusy. Your the peri peri pepper, hay and lemon note or lemongrass notes. Every once up until you get to the super hot stupid stuff, they all have different flavors. They all complement different foods.
Yeah.
This for high fat foods like your fried eggs.
Yeah.
This one, anything with cheese on it.
Or lima beans. Actually, the
Lima beans, yes.
Tabasco goes great on lima beans,
Collard greens,
collard greens.
high fat.
Yeah.
Because your lima beans simmer with a ham hock.
Yeah.
You get a lot of high fat, a lot of grease.
Mm-hmm.
The high vinegar cuts through the grease.
Yep.
And then, anything with cheese, a heavy cheese pizza,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, because the mushroom is really going to complement that cheese beautifully.
You got chicken breast, and trust me, chicken breast is as bland as it gets.
Or a bland piece of inexpensive white fish.
Yeah.
So something like that.
Pasta,
Yeah,
No.
chopped ham with mothers. It works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
chopped ham, beans them up. Anyway, turkey, yeah. But it doesn't have to be. Get a mild hot sauce that complements it and try it.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
a good point, Sir Brass. There's also a number of cooking, eat this while you read stuff on the net, which
Yeah.
Cedarr started. And Mike Rothman has been on there quite a few times. Mike is also a very good cook, in addition to being a scientist.
Mhm.
Interesting how that seems to work out with people. Anyway,
You get to the point where you understand the science behind what you're doing, and it enables you to know before you even start playing with it
Yeah.
if your experiment is likely to succeed. And sometimes it'll surprise you and go badly wrong,
Oh, yeah.
Other times it works just fine, and I've done some interesting things with peppers. I mean, I've done mole sauce from scratch
Yeah.
twice now, and that is primarily chili peppers, dried smoked chili peppers in most cases, and then toasted and then rehydrated and ground. And it takes 3 days to make, but it is worth it.
Yeah. Rick says cooking is alchemy, baking is chemistry. Yeah, and I can't bake worth a shit.
And there's some foods that you'll never have to try hot sauce on.
Yeah.
A good steak. Some folks like the flavor of eggs. If you've got a good farm eggs
Yeah.
from chickens that have been out dealing with the coyotes, a little salt, a little pepper on your eggs is fine.
Yeah.
Most of the eggs you get at Walmart
Are bland.
are bland.
Yeah. The other
So
thing
bland.
is the color of the egg, the
Yes.
color of the yolk.
Mm-hmm.
If it's yellowish to red,
If it's less than this, you're not gonna have a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
Reach for the hot sauce.
Because that's exposure to green stuffs.
Yeah.
The green stuffs are what amp up the carotene in the egg yolk, and that's your
Yep.
color. So
and also the flavor.
here's the thing, though. I mean, you can go to the store and pay twice or triple your just everyday thing of eggs for the free range. And free range just means that they're thrown out loose into a big old barn.
Yeah.
That does not mean that they actually get to run around and eat bugs and grass, which will enhance the flavor of the egg.
If
Oh,
you've
I know
got-
that. You
if
know
you've
that.
got an egg
Yeah,
with
I
a
know.
dark
I'm
orange
speaking
yolk,
for the audience.
Oh, that's true.
if you got an egg with a dark orange yolk, you probably don't need to add hot sauce. If
Yeah.
you got one where the yolk is slightly less white than the whites, you're going to need hot sauce.
Yeah.
The steaks, if you got a good steak, you don't need anything except black pepper and salt. If an army cook has gotten a hold of a 99-cent club steak, you're going to need hot sauce.
Yeah. And on that note, folks, we've wasted another hour of your time.
Boy, yeah, we waste.
Actually, garlic butter, Winkle Red. Good
Herb-
garlic butter on
herbed-
steak.
Herb
herbed
butter. Or whipped herb butter on steak.
Sanford asked me to make him Krauterbutter.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I know how to do that. And then I found that I could buy packets of herbs to blend
Yeah.
with the butter. So it is precisely the German Krauterbutter that you wanted,
Yeah.
which is also great on pork chops.
Yeah, differ. I grew up chasing free range wild chickens as a kid.
Jim grew up with this stuff. I grew up with some version of this stuff. I hope y'all enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was a little more directed than our usual.
But this is fun. I mean,
I had fun.
Only
I don't
because you wanted to do this rant for over a year.
No, I had the rant that somebody on the far side of that wall right there
From
Made-
a year ago.
made the imperious pronouncement we would have the hot pepper.
Anyway, y'all have a good weekend.
Be safe, guys.
Be safe.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Point here that I am the production manager, keeping all of you yahoos on task.
Yes, dear.
See?
can I make a brief pitch before
Yes,
we
Yes.
let
please
everybody
do.
go?
Please do.
So there are posters of all the cover art for Raconteur Press. I have copies of those available for sale. If y'all want something, ping me and we can talk.
Also, if you keep it on in the background, it may change from time to time.
Go buy our friends' books. Hell, go buy our books. We like to eat,
Melinda's hot sauce.
as you may have noticed. Remember, folks,
We like good food.
don't pet the sweaty stuff. Don't sweat the petty stuff.
Be safe, guys.
And just remember, it's all petty. Bye-bye.
That
Did
was
you
a
see
really